The more the thing went on, I just kind of felt awful.
I did too.
Yeah.
I did too. I know it's a celebration.
Not a feel-good moment for me. Maybe it was not for me.
It was a wake.
Yeah.
He was lying. He was in a hospital bed.
Yeah.
That wasn't a wheelchair.
Yeah.
I felt bad.
I did too.
I felt happy that he's able to see this outpouring of affection.
Yeah.
But
they could have done this a long time ago.
Yeah. I think to do it while the guy is clearly dying in front of you is...
I just I don't... There's no other way to look at it for me. I mean, that was just... What's the word you used?
Macabre.
That's what it was. I don't want to steal your words.
It was macabre. I was uncomfortable.
I need to, but I don't want to.
I really like Johnny Kerr.
Oh, I love Johnny.
But when the facial expressions of his children just really made me so sad.
Yeah.
And it was not just an effervescent celebration of
no.
It was a wake.
Mm-hmm.
I felt really weird watching it.
Yeah. Yeah. People have this habit of waiting far too long to do something that should have been done a long, long time ago. Pick a year. Nothing's changed.
And they moved this up from April because they knew the time was not exactly on their side?
Right. That's correct as well.
This was supposed to be later, and this had the feeling of a hurried memorial service.
That's what it was. Yeah. I just found it...
It's not to take anything away from a basketball pioneer. And
absolutely, quite the contrary. What I'm saying is that this whole thing could have been done a long time ago, and where everybody just had a great time with it. More of a celebrative mood than what the mood we had last night. Because I don't know how you can, you know what I mean? I don't know. They didn't want to, because they didn't even think he could talk.
There was celebration. But there was also this dark undercurrent of death.
Yep.
That at least I felt.
Oh, no. No, you're right. There's no doubt.
I thought that it appeared that Scottie Pippen had some emotion he was struggling to contain as well. And just looking at the expressions on the faces of his children.
Yeah.
I
just think that...
Nobody said that. No one has said that. Are we really the only? Is it just to us?
I guess it is. Well, we're a little bit different than most, I guess. But I felt it. I saw it, and it just didn't. I don't know. Like I say, this was deserved for any number of years now. Nothing has changed. Nothing has changed. Nothing was going to change. That wouldn't have stopped this from happening 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 4 years ago, 5 years ago. I mean, none of what was celebrated last night would have changed. None of it.
No. I was a little distracted by the fact that Michael Jordan was wearing a tarpaulin made of AstroTurf. Is there a YouTube video of him actually eating cheese fries with Jessica Simpson? He was serious. Do you remember when he said that? When he said when he wanted to retire so he could get fat?
Yeah, he did.
That he was tired of being in shape?
Mm-hmm.
Well... we now have Michael Barkley. He's about 20 pounds away from the hot dogs on the back of his head. I'll give him credit, man. He's true to his word in that regard. He was tired of keeping his old ass in shape.
Keeping it real.
He's
keeping it real.
That's something. I mean, at one point, instead of clapping the rosin in front of Johnny Kerr, I thought it was going to be frozen pizza puffs.
Yeah. But, none of those people that were attended last night, other people who love Reds, were too busy 2 years ago or 3 years ago or 4 years ago or 5 years ago, were they? To your knowledge, were they real busy? Any of them?
This texter says there's a dark undercurrent of death at every Bulls game. But a lot of people were talking about him in the past tense.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, he's right there.
Well, like I say, nothing that was... Nobody was there, couldn't have done this a long time ago.
Right.
And the Bulls waited till they got the word that, uh-oh, now we'll do it.
And Norm is mad.
Norm, man.
My invitation must have gotten lost in the mail. I'm going. I don't care. That is another thing. I just had a creepy evening in front of the television because I had Norm angry pregame, postgame. I thought he was going to, like in the pregame, he said he was going to go. And then in the postgame, I guess he's still there. I guess they didn't let him go, and he wanted to go, and he wasn't invited. I'd like to talk to Norm about it because it was a something. Whatever it was.
I mean, leave it to turn into something it absolutely didn't need to be, right?
I know what could make you happy.
What?
Tyrus Thomas slayed another bum last night.
Yeah, Tyrus he's on it, man.
He's got Amir Johnson on his wall now.
It's like in Predator, right?
Well, at least the game was good. It was a good game.
It's a fun game.
Yeah, I'll choose to remember that and just kind of forget about the whole Johnny thing because it just, I don't know why people wait. I really don't. I don't know what you're waiting for.
I think maybe they were waiting for him to get into the Hall of Fame, and once they realized he wasn't going to get into the Hall of Fame before he dies.
They're not mutually exclusive. Why can't you do a night for him regardless? Completely independent.
I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying I understand. Well, I can kind of envision what they were thinking.
It was nice of them to make his statue black.
That's what
Johnny
I thought,
Black
too.
Kerr.
So I wasn't that's what I thought. I said to Peach, his statue's a black man.
Right. I thought
Why is he a black man?
Johnny's always aspired to be a black.
I thought that was nice. And that really the greatest reward of all is to have Johnny Kerr memorialized in perpetuity as a black man.
As a black man.
So that was cool, I thought. I thought the FUBU on him was a little much, though.
I'm going to see if I can get that done in a couple of years.
You get a statue made of you as a black man?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I just, it just, to me, I am not a big fan of those. Not under those circumstances. Ordinarily, it could be a really fun night, and 3 years ago it would have been a really good night. Really fun night. But under these circumstances, I don't know. I just, a lot of, the Bulls got a lot of credit for things. They should also get a little taken away for just waiting too damn long.
Right.
Because if your excuse is, well, you kept thinking he's going to get in the Hall of Fame. I've never been thinking that, actually. Because if that would have happened, that could have happened a long damn time ago.
Why don't we talk to the man who talks Bulls basketball on Comcast before, during, and after the games? Norm Van Lier, our former score colleague, is with us now on WSCR. Hello, Norm.
Gentlemen, how are you doing?
We're doing okay. And, Norm, how are you?
I'm doing great. I'm trying to solve the problem here with Law and Order again. And it's not like Perry Mason days. I can get that one. But this one got me confused, man.
Well, to be honest, I was confused last night because I heard you in the pregame say that your invite got lost in the mail, and then you said I'm going, and then it was weird a little after the game. So what happened? And did you make any phone calls? Did you figure this out? I mean, obviously we don't want to trample on the goodwill that should be afforded Johnny Red Kerr on a night like this, but I just found it strange that you weren't a part of it.
Well, I tell you what, no, I made no phone calls, nor would I do that on a night of such a good man and a good human being. I would never do that. But I had halftime, and Mark Chernovsky and Ken Neville and everybody kept saying, man, get out and go to the halftime, regardless if you haven't been invited. And I said, well, I will. And I think sometimes, as I think about it now, I wish I had maybe stayed in the studios, because when I got there, everybody in the whole place said, why aren't you on the floor? What's going on? So I started thinking about it, and really thinking about it, and then when I saw who was all there gathering for this function, I started thinking, well, did they just overlook me, or just perhaps maybe didn't want me there? I don't know. I just know I wasn't invited, and that's when it started to sink in that I said, man, this kind of hurts me a little bit, by my pride and the fact that I want to be regret.
And in the light of day, as you mentioned today, you're trying to decipher Law and Order, which I agree at times can be a problem.
Talk to me, baby.
You still feel exactly the same way today you did yesterday about it?
Well, no, you have a day to digest, and look, I'm a little older. I got more things that worry about someone picking me. I mean, first of all, it's Red tonight. Let's just go with that. I mean, this man is just a great human being, one of the kindest people I've ever met in my life, and I've known Red 40 years, man. I came here as a 20-some-year-old kid, and he was here. And look, first of all, he kept me out of trouble with Dick Motta half the time. He kept me out of jail from Dick Motta. Never let Dick Martin know what was going on. And he was like my father, so it was great. But, look, I got a brother and sister trying to beat cancer. My mom's 85 years old, struggling. I had to run back and forth to Pittsburgh. And this Arctic weather is kicking my butt before it changed with this irregular heartbeat I have. So I got other things on my mind to worry about, somebody not picking me to go. But I got to tell you guys, I was hurt. I'm not going to sit here and lie to anybody. I was hurt that I wasn't part of something that I thought was special to be around Red. But I think sometimes on the spiritual side of things, he knows how I feel about him and all the above. So I let it go. But at the time, being there through all these emotions, I just had people coming up to me left and right and calling all the time. And so you had no other thought but to think about it.
Well, I guess that's where we can kind of fill in the empty space then. And since you've had the opportunity today and took that opportunity here on these airwaves to say those nice things about Johnny Kerr, and I'm sure a lot of the people who were at the game, a lot of people who watched the game can hear you say that, and you get to pay him the tribute that you wanted to pay him last night.
Well, no doubt about it. Like I said before, to be around this man and to watch where he is now and to feel part of that, it's something. But, as we grow older, things like this are going to be in front of you.
I agree.
And you got to deal with it. And that's something I have been learning in the last 4 or 5 years, man. I'm 61 years old now, and I've seen some things, and I've watched things, and you got to deal with it. As you get older, you're going to have some of these type of things become before you. But, hey, you got to stand up and say, you know what? I was the best person I could possibly be with that human being, or that human being was the best person he could be with me. And that's what you stand on as you grow on this earth.
All right, Norm, we'll let you go. We appreciate you jumping on. We had a caller the other day suggested the best combination in Bulls history, best 1-2, Sloan and Van Lier. Unfortunately, we had to go find him and beat him to death.
Yeah, because we brought up Jordan and Pippen as a possibility there, and he said no.
I told Jerry I used to hit him and start fights and run behind him and tall bone.
Norm, we appreciate you jumping on with us, my friend.
Hey, as my boys say, rock and roll, guys.
All right, take care.
Norm Van Lier, Bulls analyst on Comcast Sportsnet, our guest on WSCR. The Score, we've got plenty more to come.